Hello everyone, and welcome back to Phantasy Star 3. If you remember what happened last time, we just met, we just got up, we married, Thea. We kind of found out they had a son together named Sean. After so many years of being on a satellite together, now their home got attacked by some mysterious force. After the attack, Anne and Thea told Sean to go on the last shuttle to escape while they stayed on the satellite and actually committed the ultimate sacrifice by basically sacrificing their lives so Sean could live. So what we did after that is after we kind of appeared back at Hazatok, and I actually sat around here, did some off-screen leveling. So now Sean is level 4, Miu and Ren level 40. Now, if you remember before, if you see that raptor monster there in this battle named the Gnasher, this is actually the monster I said in the last part you want to watch out for. No matter what level you actually are, he can still one-shot you for some random reason. I don't know why. I mean, it's kind of strange that even when you're like level 50 something or some characters, if he hits you, and for one hit, you go down. So it's kind of that's why I kind of call him the Raptor for Jurassic Park. So if you also saw there when I pulled up the menu when I looked at Sean actually has some very interesting magic. He actually has healing spells. He's supposed to have defense spells, and I believe he has something else called time spells. Unfortunately, I do not know what all the spells actually do besides healing spells and a few attack spells like Foy, Sue, Zon, spells like that. Other spells besides the healing spells and like the generic spells like Foy, Zon, Sue or Thu, whatever the spell's called, TSU. I'm not really 100% familiar about what other the spells are, but one good thing about this game is that the only kind of magic that you really need to do, or you really need for the whole entire game, is healing magic, and that's it. That's the only kind of spells you need to have. So let me get back to where we're gonna do now real quick, just in case before I continue going with anything else right now. So from Hazatok, when we start doing now is that now when we start heading back to Landen, our objective now that we need to go to Landen to talk to somebody there at the Kingdom of Landen. Now one thing about us though, once we get there, if you remember before in chapter 2 how like I said about the Kingdom of Ilia, Yata, and the Kingdom of Landen had nobody in it. There was like everybody was like gone, like they died or ran away or anything. Now there's actually gonna be people there. Unfortunately, there's not really gonna be any new items to buy, so don't have to really worry about that. So once again from Generation 2 or Chapter 2, if you remember how to get to this cave to get to Landen, that's fine. If not, I shall try my best to describe which way you have to go. From Hazatok, you want to actually go west until you get to a mountain. Now you're gonna see two caves. You do not want to enter either caves for right now. From there, you want to go north, and you should see another mountain with a cave to the right. That cave will actually enter this dungeon again, and then you want to go through this dungeon to get to Landen. Now, also, I also know in the last part I said that if you play as Sari, you start off somewhere else. If you start off playing as Sari, you actually start off in the Kingdom of Landen. Unfortunately, you still have to do the exact same thing that we have to do now in this storyline. It's just the fact that your starting place is a little bit different, but you still have to do the exact same you still have to do the exact same thing storyline wise over again. For example, one thing we have to do for right now is we have to find different parts for Ren. There's going to be different parts. Like, you remember Hazatok there, when I was still there, I talked to a robot and they kind of said something about there's a hidden pathway, but you need Ren subparts. Well, we need Ren subparts in order to actually get to that hidden pathway. We also have to find the 5 final weaponry. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get those yet until I actually get the 2 other characters I need to pick up. Plus, I have to have all of Ren's other parts. So just to reiterate that one more time, I have to get the other 2 party members, plus I have to have the other Ren parts. And also, I also have to find, if you remember before in chapter 1, I believe, or chapter 2, generation 1, generation 2, where I said there's an item you can actually use where you don't have to go through these underground dungeons anymore. You could basically just warp between areas using a specific building. In this chapter, or if you actually played chapter 2, because you have to do this in chapter 2 if you decide to pick the longer storyline. If you decide to not marry Anne, but you decide to marry Thea and get the other prince, you have to actually do this now. You have to actually find a special item to allow you to warp to different places. And so first of all, we have to get this item to warp to different places, because we cannot get access to the final dungeon without that item. I mean, not the final dungeon, but the final area to the final dungeon without that item. Now, even with the item, we're not going to access the final dungeon when we get it. The reason why is it though, because a lot of the enemies in there are really powerful. They're really strong, and you know, it's a good spot if you want to do like leveling before you finish this. Before you finish the game or go to the final area, but we'll worry about that. We have to worry about that now. So all you need to do now after you exit the cave is start heading to Landen. So from the cave, you want to go around, you want to go north, you want to go west before you get into the forest where the lake was in chapter 1 where Mew was. You want to keep going west. You're going to come across another town, which is Yatta. From Yatta, you want to go north, and then you'll actually enter the town of Landen. And then that is where I shall end the video at for today. So for right now, we're just going to keep fighting a few more battles off, and then we're going to go enter the cave. Keep saying cave. We're going to enter the town of Landen, and then that'll actually end the video for today. So hope everybody enjoyed this explanation of everything, and if I need to explain more, I will possibly in the next chapter or in other chapters later on as we're going through chapter 3, or the last chapter of the game generation 3, and I will see everybody in the next part. So once again, hope everybody enjoyed this. This is Ryu here. Later.